Hi everyone. I hope you have a nice day today. Today I would like to say a few things about how to protect our personal boundaries. A few basic tips about protecting our personal boundaries the first moment we realize that they are crossed or violated by situations or people. So the first moment that we realize that our personal boundaries are violated, it's not probably the first moment that they have started to be violated. What I mean by that, that probably sometimes situations happen in such a way that we feel that everything is okay, and we do not understand and we do not consciously realize that someone is violating our boundaries, not at first, not when it starts happening, but after an accumulation of events and after an accumulation of negative emotions, we begin to realize that something is wrong. And there we start wondering, what is this? And at that moment, probably we start realizing that maybe somebody violated our personal boundaries. This happens most of the times when we are newbies in the domain of protecting our personal boundaries. So at the beginning, we think some discomfort, some negative emotions, and some lack of motivation that we have or drive are due to other factors and not due to the phenomenon of personal boundaries violation. So, anyway, even if it is the first moment that this phenomenon occurred, or even if it is the moment that we have finally understood that somebody is violating our personal boundaries, what we can initially do is first we realize what is going on. We just contemplate about the situation, and we realize that uh, this chain of events led to the result of violating my personal boundaries. And the first good step and solid and healthy step to do is to politely and gently explain to the other parties that our boundaries were crossed. It is a better thing to say that my boundaries are crossed, so passive voice, and I'm showing myself, instead of saying you crossed my boundaries. So it's better to say and describe that this situation violated or crossed my personal boundaries instead of accusing somebody, because if you accuse someone, probably they're going to stonewall, and they're going to show such a strong defense initially that maybe the communication and the message won't take place. So first thing you say is politely explain the situation, and a second step to take is to say, what will you do now in order to protect your personal boundaries and in order to uh, uh, empower again your personal boundaries and not allow such a phenomenon to occur again in this specific circumstance and with these specific parties. For example, if you feel that a friend is calling you late in the night, and he's doing or she's doing that many times, and actually you are disturbed by this calling, you realize it first, you understand that this is something that you don't want it because it's crossing your boundaries, and then politely you explain to your friend that, look, I don't feel okay when somebody calls me late in the night and I prefer not to answer. So you state the situation and say that I will turn off my phone, so I will not receive any calls at this time of the day. And you explain what hurt you. You explain what made you feel that your personal boundaries are violated. You explain that in personal first person of passive voice, I have been, or my boundaries have been crossed, instead of saying you're calling me late in the night and you make me feel very angry about it, because this second way is not going to work. And the third thing is that you say to the party, to the person, that you're going to take some specific measures in order to protect your boundaries and to avoid repeating the same pattern of violation again. So be explicit, be polite, but be firm to what you have to say. And by firm, I don't mean rigid emotionally. And have a conscious decision to explain your personal boundaries and see how it goes. And in the next video we'll have soon, I'm going to tell you what happens and what we do if this first tip doesn't actually really work and the other parties do not respect our personal boundaries and the new measures we have taken. Okay, so think about that. Have you ever had your personal boundaries violated? Have you ever used this technique, this tip, to politely explain what disturbed you and what were the results? Or maybe now is the occasion. If you feel right now that some parties are violating or crossing your boundaries, you can try this and see the results, and I will be happy to receive your feedback about it. In the meantime, have a wonderful day and enjoy powerful and creative days. Bye bye to you.